Tippy time with Damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. The first hunter kit I wanted to take a look at in Renegades was the Lucky Raspberry chestpiece. Back when the Crota raid was re-released, they gave this puppy a Jolt buff that had never worked, and in every subsequent sandbox change, it was never fixed. That was until Renegades. The Lucky Raspberry works with our arc bolt grenades, it gives them increased chaining capabilities, and now actually jolts targets that it hits. When we apply jolt damage or trigger jolt damage, it is going to grant us back additional arc bolt grenade energy. This is 20% per target that we jolt, and any target that we create an ionic trace off of is going to feed us a further 5%. This means whenever we throw a grenade, we get that old 5-finger discount, pretty much giving us a full grenade charge back. Bungie increased the projectile lifetime of the chain projectile. This helps massively with the consistency on those moving targets that are at the outer edge of the chain range. They changed the activation time, giving it the JOI treatment, making that grenade come 0.1 second faster, and then they increased the max chain range off of the initial chain. It was 7 meters, now 10. The standard arc bolt tags 3 enemies. With the Lucky Raspberries, it tags 4. And this is the overarching purpose of this grenade. As you know, we tag these enemies, they are all jolted. That's 80% of our grenade back in the blink of an eye, allowing us to jolt every target within sight, and in some cases targets outer sight around those corners. It is the bad guy moment of chucking the toaster in with the bathwater. So we're obviously going to be speccing into grenades for this kit. You want 4 pieces of grenadier armor to push us up to 160. We'll be utilizing 2 grenade fonts to give us that max 200. This takes that single target damage from 269 to 469. Now these numbers aren't as nearly impressive as our impact grenades, but we are able to bust that nut in under 10 seconds. It comes down to a playstyle, right? Do you want to be shooting them into the ceiling, scary movie style, or do you rather that IV of pineapple juice hooked up to your veins so you're always ready with that next sploosh? To keep the fonts topped up, I run one firepower mod to make an overpower every 10 seconds off of our arc web kills, and any ionic traces that we create is going to feed us an armor charge with that elemental charge mod on our kicks. Now I touched on earlier, with permission of course, that we gain grenade energy off of any jolt application. So the best way to earn that grenade spam is by fully investing in a jolt kit. This build follows similar lines of our gifted conviction builds, where we use that Tempest Strike to throw out a torrent of arc energy in front of us. We make sure we got that combination blow equipped, so when we defeat a target with our melee damage, it's going to refund us class ability energy. This allows us easy access to that Zeus fart, otherwise known as Ascension. We jump up, fart down, this amplifies us and it's going to give us that bonus damage resistance. This allows us to bunny hop throughout the sky, dropping those arc bombs, World War II style. We also had that Gambler's Dodge equipped, so when we use our Ascension, it's going to refund our melee stat. Now we do need to have a certain amount of melee and class stats to still make this combination work. It's for this reason I've linked with 4 pieces of Grenadier with that 160 and 200 at font, and not that full 5 piece. I've spec'd with 1 Brawler piece so I can get that melee stat up to 90 and my class at around 70, giving us that 2-handed shaft stroke with this hybrid dodge punch combo. To properly utilize this 2-handed combo, I'm rocking 1 Reaper mod to give us an overpower off the back of our weapon kills after we've used our arc fart. The enemies will all be jolted, so it's an easy tap with our weapon to create that orb of power. Powerful attractions is going to suck up any orbs of power within 12.5 meters of us, just like a Vietnamese ping pong show. I'm running 1 outreach mod on my class item. This gives us back 12% melee energy whenever I use my Ascension. Now between our grenades, our melee and our Ascension, we've got Jolt on tap, so Spark of Ions is going to feed us ionic traces whenever we defeat targets via bolt charge or jolted. With recharge, whilst we are critically wounded, our grenade and melee energy regenerates more quickly. I'm not worried about the melee, that's kind of on lockdown with that 2-handed shaft combo, but we do want that 400% grenade recharge rate that it affords us. This is that 2-finger double tap to the vein of grenade juice. Fully investing in that jolt, I run Spark of Instinct, so whilst critically wounded, we take damage and it will emit a burst of damaging arc energy that jolts nearby targets. Pretty much whenever you're fighting those guys over there and some bad dude comes from behind and King hits you in the back of the head, he gets jolted and we get fed grenade juice. It is an absolute workhorse of a fragment that is often overlooked, but particularly with the Lucky Raspberry, it is a game changer. I don't mind letting targets into my safe space as I've got Spark of Resistance, so whilst we're surrounded, we get more resistant to incoming damage. This is a 25% DR. I'm also rocking 2-piece armor set, a smoke jumper, giving us that 4-second window of damage resist starting at 45% and dropping down to 15%. We've already got that amplified DR buff, so we're pretty safe from that king hit. Then with Spark of Feedback, we take damage. It's briefly going to increase our outgoing melee damage by 100%. If you're still getting used to Tempest and you're not all that comfortable in close quarters with it, I would maybe swap this out for Spark of Frequency to give us an increased amount of bolt charge. I know Storm's Edge got a better cooldown in Renegades, so in terms of damage output and cooldowns, they're kinda on equal footing, but I do still prefer the Lightning Rod. I'm the type of dude who likes to spray and walk away. As the super does jolt, make sure you use your arc web grenade before you peg it, because it does have a massive AoE effect. It is going to jolt a lot of bad boys and essentially feed you back a grenade instantly. I personally wouldn't recommend using the Arcstrider super. It's meant for more ag clear, and realistically, between our melee, our ascension and our grenade, every enemy we see is going to be sticking forks into power sockets. We can build our super quicker than a Duplo set, as we're rocking one Ashes to Assets mod to gain bonus super energy off of our grenade kills, and I'm using one Hands On mod to gain us bonus super energy off of our melee kills. Now I don't want to pigeonhole your arsenal, because hey, you might not like birds, but I would try and rock one of those kinetic charge siphon mods from the artifact on your helmet. This season the artifact leans very much into kinetic void and arc, so a lot of my arsenal going forwards and Renegades will be utilizing these three elements. It just so happens that they've given us one of the coolest kinetic weapons of all time, allowing us to craft our very own lightsaber. You do though want to pick your favorite arc primary. This is going to do a lot of the legwork for you. Something rapid fire with a decent sized magazine will work, as everything will be jolted and we want to be putting bullets in their face holes to trigger those jolts. On my run through, I very much enjoyed using my Oversoul Edict from the Crota raid. It has bolt shot on it, so get a kill, get a reload, get a jolt, and it has demolitionist on it to further build in to our grenade build. But any weapon you pick with either of these two perks is going to dial up your spam. I've chosen a 2-piece of Last Discipline to make all our primary reloads better, just to aid in making our vault shot more vaultier, but if you've got another set of armor you prefer like Bushido, feel free to do so. Match your surge to whatever weapon you feel is most dominant, and then marry your power weapon to it. I've been using an arc rocket launcher to do so, but equally if you want a kinetic surge, maybe try that refurbished sniper rifle. That thing doesn't just pop heads, it removes them. Now feel free to pause here for all my mods and fragments. There will be a dim link in the description down below, and I'll try and update this as the season progresses to include a more recent artifact once I've fully unlocked it. I'd like to give a shout out to a couple of groups of people. Firstly, my old clan, cheers for the jams boys, love you long time, and secondly my new clan, DNZ, jams and adventures to follow. If you are an Arc Hunter fan, to me this season there is really no better option. I've been on my hands and knees sucking the Bungie sandbox for years, waiting for the raspberries to fruit, and my work has finally come in. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter, not the Bungie BJ, the build. Make sure to comment down below, thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.